Hello, I'm Daniel Coates on a beautiful June day here at Cal State Fullerton. I'm at the Fallen David statue here at Central Campus, and I'm about to take you on a tour of the Cal State Fullerton backcountry, the Coyote Hills. This is about a 6-mile, very strenuous hike, but you're going to learn a lot about the area in the process. So let's get started. So before we leave campus, let's not forget about the beauty of the Fullerton Arboretum. So you have a lot of different landscapes represented here, from rainforests to the Pacific Northwest to the California deserts. The most famous landmark here is the umbo tree, which is native to Southern Africa and South America. And right now, it almost looks like Miami because you got this huge crane where they're doing construction on some new housing. And here you have the bamboo forest, and you also have a very large bald cypress. And that's a very common tree in Louisiana, so it's almost like being in New Orleans. Underneath all the bamboo here, you can't beat this spot as a little lunch alcove here on campus at Cal State Fullerton. So this is the home and the home office of one of Orange County's first medical doctors, Dr. George Clark. There's ostrich eggs in there. There's a sundial in the front here. And then here's the bald cypress trees I was telling you about. There's a working farm in the back there. We're Belinda Boulevard now, and I'm on the campus of Marshall Ketchum University. So Fullerton is called the education city because there's so many colleges and universities here, and this is the northernmost one in the Cal State Fullerton area in East Fullerton. One of the big majors here is optometry. So if you wear glasses like I do, a lot of your optometrists in Southern California, they graduate from this school here. So definitely very important work. Lovely bridge here. And this is in the foothills of the mountains, and this honors a young lady who tragically passed away at a young age a couple decades ago. And this is a very, very beautiful walkway here. You have a creek right below you. Definitely lovely. So State College Boulevard, and this is actually one of the steepest parts of this whole hike. You're going straight uphill. If you want to do the hike, but you don't want to do this really strenuous portion, you can always take Route 57, OCTA Route 57 bus, and they'll let you off at the top. Well, I'm at the top now, up on Bastanchery. The air feels a little bit different. You can smell a lot more pine trees up in here. I'm at the ridge, and I'm going to be walking this ridge now for the next hour or so. So I'm going to head up even a little bit higher in just a moment. But it's not going to be as tough of a climb anymore because now it's a little bit more level terrain. Now I'm in the hills. Something you can see here that really tells you you're getting into a different area is on a clear day like today, you can see the high-rises of downtown LA from here, way in the distance. So you're kind of getting out of Orange County and you're getting more into the LA metro. Here at the top there's this restaurant called the Summit House. It's a British pub type of restaurant, and the architecture is supposed to be like 500 years ago in the time of Queen Elizabeth or in the time of Martin Luther in Germany. Now I'm up at the Panorama Nature Trail. You can see Cal State Fullerton way out there in the distance. You can see the buildings of the campus, and then here you have a golf course. Another thing you're going to see up here is you got all these oil rigs. And that's because North Orange County, especially the Brea area, Brea means tar in Spanish, you had a lot of oil as part of the mainstay of the economy 100 years ago and even more recent than that. And a lot of it continues to the present day. So you're just going to see that kind of going on while you walk up in here. So this view here, this is Brea and La Habra. And on a clear day, you're going to be able to see LA from here. Other side of those mountains is the San Gabriel Valley. And then panning around on this side, there again is Cal State Fullerton and Central Orange County. You can see Anaheim, you can see the South Coast Metro from here. And then through that little pass there, that's the Inland Empire. And sometimes on a clear day, you can even see Mount San Jacinto from here, out near Palm Springs. And right up here, this is one of the better views of Cal State Fullerton from a distance. Well, this seems like a good place to take a break. So this is looking down into Brea, La Habra, La Mirada, all those areas. You almost have that like pyramid looking structure in there. And that is Fullerton Free Church. That is where the Bible teacher Chuck Swindoll taught from 1971 to 1994 before he retired from Orange County and went to Texas and started another church over there. And now he really has retired for good, but he didn't retire until he was 90 years old. So that's a long working life. Right here, here's everything you can see. So feel free to stop the video if you want to take a look at this more and zoom in, because this is your full account of what's visible up here. So up in here, this is all coastal scrub. A notable thing about the Coyote Hills is looking all the way back to the 1870s. There's never been a major wildfire up here. And it may be the only mountain range in Southern California that hasn't had devastating fires. There was a small blaze up here in 2015, a little bit to the west of here, but nothing major. And hopefully it stays this way. Well, now I'm gonna head into a hilltop residential area, and these are all very well-to-do homes. And if you watch a lot of YouTube music covers, you might be familiar with some of the terrain here from a young lady named Tiffany Elvord. And she does a lot of music filmed up here in the hills here. Like if you look up her cover of Taylor Swift's We Are Never Getting Back Together, that was filmed up in here. Tiffany Elvord grew up a Mormon, and now she's an evangelical Christian. Got some options here. You could head down this way, down a nature trail to Brea Boulevard. But I'm gonna stay on Skyline and see some of the very unique architecture up in here. Beautiful country roads and canyon homes up here. Now, you definitely don't wanna be up here at night though, because there's not a lot of lighting and there is car traffic up here. So definitely only in the daytime, and you do wanna be careful. This is just so lovely up in here. You gotta love this. Architecturally, you got everything up here from Spanish Revival to this colonial looking home here. I really like this look. This is the architectural style when America declared its independence 250 years ago. Here's more of that canyon terrain. Just seems to go on forever up in here. So down in here, you're facing the beach more, so there's a cooler breeze, so it's a lot easier to walk up in here. It's also a little bit older, a lot more mid-century homes, and you can tell that at one time this was more maybe middle class or upper middle class, maybe not quite as high-end as some of those other areas. Here a lot of the homes are smaller, and they're built many years ago, back in the 1920s. So now I'm in Hillcrest Park. And this is all 1920s. This is some of the best examples of 1920s architecture that there is in Southern California. A lot of this was built right before the stock market crash in 1929. You can get a good view of Fullerton City College. And then beyond that, you have the Anaheim area and South Coast. You have the Anaheim Towers, and then in the distance, you have the second half of the Coyote Hills, the Coyote Hills West, and that leads toward La Mirada. But right here, this is one of those big city parks, the way that they have them up in San Francisco and San Diego. So in the distance there, that is the North Orange County Courthouse. So that serves the Fullerton area, Brea, Yorba Linda, this whole region in here. And you got a couple of veterans memorials up here, including one specific to the Korean War, which you don't see too often. Beautiful fountain here, and I'm heading into Harbor Boulevard. So I'm in downtown Fullerton now, but one thing I do want to point out is that downtown Fullerton is part of that El Camino Real system, the road system established by the Spaniards about 300 years ago. So here I am back at the Fullerton train station, finishing the walk at about 17,000 steps. I'm at downtown Fullerton, and the Southwest Chief is about to arrive going across the country. So I hope you've had a better understanding now with this video a little bit about the Fullerton backcountry and what's up in the hills that we can see from Cal State Fullerton each day. So have a good day.